Hello! Today we are going to take the piece of fabric that I made using decorative stitches from my sewing machine and scrap fabric, and we're going to make it into a zipper pouch. Then we're going to make an ornament to go in the zipper pouch. So don't go anywhere. The good part is coming up. They're all good parts, so stay tuned. This one's kind of fun because it has a rainbow zipper. See how it's different colors? How cool is that? And it's plastic. I can cut this with my rotary cutter. If it were metal, not so much. You will need your fabric. I am not going to line this. This is kind of already lined because it's got the muslin and then it's got the double-sided adhesive. So it's not your normal flimsy piece of fabric. It's got some substance to it. And to me, this is the perfect size for a zipper pouch. It'll end up being a little bit smaller, but not too much. Something else you're going to need is a zipper foot. Fortunately, my little Rebel came with a zipper foot, and this is what it looks like. Installing a zipper foot is no more difficult than installing any other foot. Now on this little Rebel, I push this little lever back and my foot comes off. So in order to install this, first of all, I need to decide if I want the attachment on this side or this side of my foot. Here's your zipper. Now it's not big enough, but we're just pretending. So the first thing you're going to do is put your fabric over the top of the zipper, and then you're going to sew it on the edge of the zipper and your fabric. I've sewn the zipper like this. So it is right side down against the right side of the fabric. Then you're going to fold that fabric over and top stitch. Now I will fold back the zipper and I will do a top stitch, and that will attach fabric down to keep the excess fabric out of the way of the zipper. Okay. And again, when I come to the end, I'm going to back stitch and forward stitch. Here you can see I have attached one side of the zipper. Now I want to do the same thing with the other side. So then you need to get this side. So you are going to do the same thing. You are going to take the wrong side of your fabric. You are going to go over the top of the zipper, and you are going to sew along the edge of your fabric and the edge of your zipper, and then you are going to fold it over and top stitch it. It's just the second top stitch isn't as easy as the first because of this zipper pull. Because I want this to fold over, but I want to make sure that my sides are even. Is out of the way. And I'm lining up the edge of my fabric with the edge of my zipper tape. Okay, so I've gone forward. I'm going to go backwards. That just locks the stitches in place. And again, I just want to make sure that my zipper tape is aligned. So here you can see it's attached. Now I want to do the same thing that I did for the other side, but I'm going to have to unzip my zipper in order to be able to do that. And I'm going to trim off all this excess. So here you can see it's attached. Now I need to fold over the zipper on this side just like I did on that side. In order to be able to do that, I'm going to have to unzip it. All right. This needs to be folded over like this. So I'm going to start in the middle. I've kind of put myself in a little pickle, but I'll be able to figure it out. And now I've folded this down. I'm going to put my foot down. Make sure you put your foot down. When you don't put your foot down, it can cause some issues. Look at that. Okay, let's get my thread, make sure it doesn't get caught up. So I'm gonna go forward, and then I'm gonna back a little, backtrack. Not a lot. And here I'm just top stitching. Okay, I'm gonna back tack. So here I can maneuver my bag enough. I can close this zipper, and you can see where I started top stitching here. I'm going to put my needle on the right hand side of my zipper foot and finish this top stitch. Now let's go back to the table so I can show you what I'm going to do. So here you see I've got the bag, and here is the back of my zipper. Now I'm going to turn this right side out. Let me unzip it. That should make it easier. Okay. The hardest part of this project is done, and that is getting that zipper attached. And really and truly, the worst part of that is remembering which way you want to lay your fabric. So essentially, the wrong side of your fabric is what you put first. The first bag you make sure that your zipper is significantly longer than the bag top, or where you're going to be putting your zipper itself. All right, so here we've got essentially our bag. We've got our little zipper pull. So now what I want to do, because we need to enclose the edges, right? So I'm going to open this and turn it wrong side out. Now I'm going to pull my zipper to approximately the middle, because if I zip it all the way, then I sew both sides, I won't be able to get back into my bag. I want my pouch to have a flat bottom, and that means that I need to cut out a square on either side of my zipper bag. So let's see. And I want to make sure that this is all tucked up and that my zipper is lying like it stands up a little because my bag will sit where this is the bottom. All right, I need this. So if I go an inch up, I'm going to do 1 inch by 1 inch. So here I'm going to have a square, 1 inch by 1 inch. So I can cut out an inch by an inch and an inch by an inch. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is sew these sides. So I want to make sure that these line up. All right, and I can use a clip in this particular instance, because that is going to hold it in place. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew this side, and then I will sew the other side. And when I sew, I'm going to back stitch. So I'm going to sew, back stitch, and go over it multiple times. Now we're going to go to the Xtool software, and I'm going to show you how you can make this ornament and how you can change the name out. It is a quick tutorial, and I hope that you will stay and watch. Here we are in the Xtool Creative Space application, and I have downloaded a particular file that I'm going to use to make this ornament. So I'm going to click this plus sign on the picture, and here is machine ornament with cutout name. That's what I want. So I'm going to click it and click open. And here I've got the image. Now I want to make it a little bigger. So I'm going to work with it with the box around it. Then I'm going to enlarge it. Then I'm going to click away from it. Now I want to put a name in this cutout area. So I'm going to go up to the left-hand menu, and I'm going to click text. And then I'm going to click on the mat, and it's going to come up with hello. Now, of course, hello is not what I want, so I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to put Karen. Now I'm going to highlight it again and go to my text options here, and Lato, that is not what I want to use for my font. So as you see, I can just scroll through these different fonts and pick the font that I like. I like that one, kind of. I kind of want something a little, there we go. That's it, right there. Lobster. Don't know why they call it lobster. I guess the ends look like lobster claws. I don't know. Now, when you look at it, and I'm just going to leave it highlighted, can you see where the C overlaps the A, and the A overlaps the R, and the E overlaps the N? But you wouldn't want to cut anything that way. So what I'm going to do in order to get rid of those overlaps is I am going to weld it. And then those overlaps disappear. Whoop! That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so you don't have any overlaps. And these are connected, which is a good thing when you're working with connecting something that's upper and lower case to this image. You don't want it floating, because in real life when you cut it out, it's not going to float. And I'm going to make it a little bigger and drag it over here. Now, it's good, but not really good, because if you see, I'm going to lose part of my C. So I'm going to make it a little smaller. I made the copy of it in case I needed to pull back to the original. So here, I'm going to do that, and then I want to, it may be centered. Yep, I think I like that. I lose a little of my C on the top and the bottom, but that's okay. So there is Karen in my ornament. So I'm going to get rid of this Karen. Now, these two are two separate pieces. They are in no way together. So here I drag it and I drag it back. It's not one piece. So if I were to cut this out, the Karen would be cut out separately from the sewing machine ornament. So I'm going to highlight both of them together, and let me click unite, and that worked perfectly. And when I grab this, it is all one individual element. All right, so I have enclosed both sides. You can see the stitching. Now, my little rebel doesn't do zigzags, and normally I would probably do a little zigzag, but that is okay. I'm not going to do it this time. Now, you're probably wondering, like, I've got these holes, now what? What we're going to do is we are going to make box corners. So here, I cut out the 1 inch by 1 inch. When I open it up and pull it together, I can open this seam and I will sew from edge to edge. I will do the same on both sides. So here you can see that I have sewn across, and on both sides, of course, I need to trim this thread. Now, one way that I like to make sure that they're even is I like to fold my project in half and just kind of put them next to each other to make sure that where the seam is, they are even. And it looks like they're pretty even. Now I still need to trim off this end of my project. So what I'll do is I'll take my scissors and I will cut it off. Now you always want to make sure to avoid this metal, but because it's plastic, I can do that. So now I can open up my bag and turn it right side out. Now if you need a pokey tool to push out your bag edges where you made the bag bottom flat, you can always use a stylus or a chopstick. And you can even get metal chopsticks if you didn't want to or don't get chopsticks when you go out for Chinese. All right, so here my bag has become a zipper bag. And I'm going to push this out, which is the end of the zipper. Now there are ways to make the ends of your zippers more fancy, and you know what? We'll go over those on another day. this is my zipper bag. Now, and here is the ornament that I made Karen. So this is like 2 gifts in one. I made the fabric, I made the zipper pouch. I'm going to drop that ornament in the zipper pouch, and she has a zipper pouch that she can use all year long and a sewing ornament for her tree. The Xtool M1 Ultra is a printing, lasering, cutting, and fusing engraving machine. This is called the Ultra because it does so many functions. And one of the functions is taking a piece of wood and turning it into something that you can give as a gift to someone. There are so many things that I want to do with this machine. You can also get additional accessories, so you can get a base that makes it taller, and then you can do some ornaments and do the lasering and put names and faces and just all kinds of really cool things. You can engrave on cups. There's a rotating accessory that will take those metal cups that have the paint and will laser a name, or the name of your company, the name of your friend, the name of your spouse, anything that you want to put on there. It will, engrave a picture. It is just amazing what this machine can do. At some point, I'm going to take fabric and I want to laser cut the fabric. Now, as you can see, I'm still trying to figure out the lasering, so I need to work on that a little bit. And fabric is, I would say, more flammable, so I'm going to be real careful when I learn to do that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed how I took fabric that I made from my scraps and created this cute zipper bag, and then added my ornament that I created on my Xtool. I like useful gifts, and to me a zipper pouch is uber useful. I have some retreats coming up. Well, I have one retreat and one trip. There's going to be a retreat in Hamilton, Missouri. It is going to be at the end of April, beginning of May. I would love to meet you. If you're interested, please look at the description box below and there will be a link, and that will send you to information that you need in order to attend that retreat. And then in September, I will be taking the trip of a lifetime, which I would also love to take with you. So again, in the description box below, there will be a link. It will give you all the information that you need. And if it isn't all the information that you need, you can always email me any questions that you might have. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Eat some chocolate and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye. Somebody is already whining.